Do you have a theory?
Theory?
Okay. Anyway,
I always have theories.
we're out on a fall drive looking for colors and happened to see the sign for a place called Wild Basin.
Well, we got off on Otter Ridge Campground Road,
Yeah.
which led to Wild Basin, which is part of Rocky Mountain National Park. And it was still before 9 a.m., so we didn't have to do the timed entry pass.
Yeah. And we have an annual pass or a lifetime pass to Rocky.
Because somebody here is an old fart.
What? So we get here and we have the last parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 9 a.m. So note that you have to be up here early.
Actually, it's 10 now.
It's 10? Oh, okay. But it's full. And 1/3 of a mile down this trail is a waterfall.
That's what they say.
And people saw a moose this morning. So our hope is to go down and get some fun pictures of the waterfall.
And maybe
a moose.
We'll see what we see.
We'll see what we can see. So come on. We know we're going to see fall colors. We're already in them.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! Yay! Come on.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, 1/3 of a mile, we made it.
Yep.
There's someone fishing right at the waterfall. I don't know what to do about that for photos. I guess include them. Yeah, we made it. Wow. Okay, it might be a little too loud right here with the waterfall. It's really, really pretty. Okay, I tried to get out of the wind but I don't know if I'll be able to. Okay, maybe if I point you away from the waterfall. This is beautiful too. A couple of things with waterfall photography. You need a tripod. Steve brought his tripod. He's working a couple of spots. Now I cheated and I just tried to stabilize my camera sitting on a rock. So sorry that some of the B-roll is completely out of focus. I don't know what happened here, but it really happens to the best of us. Thomas Heaton. Sony's have pretty good stabilization, so it's not something I'll probably blow up really big, but I think it was fun. I didn't feel like bringing a big tripod, so there you go. Also, I didn't know I'd see a waterfall today. Woo. Oh my gosh! The wind picked up. We really should have been here, tip number 2, about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, so there was no bright sunlight hot spots on the water. You kind of want it all in shade. If you look around the frame in this footage, you can see some highlights down on the rocks in the lower right, kind of in the center of the screen at the bottom of the waterfall, and even on the upper falls. This is especially difficult in sunny places like Colorado. I lived many years in the Pacific Northwest, and pretty much cloudy days were the norm, and so it's much easier to photograph if you have full cloudy days, partly because of the next tip. Tip number 3 is you're going to use long exposure. So you're going to do like 1/5 of a second. So anything that's bright is going to be extra bright. So you can see here on the video the bright spot, and then my still image, you can see some of those bright spots, and this is what it looks like at 1/320th of a second. And here we are slowed down to 1/15th of a second, and you can see how the water's starting to get that creamy, flowy look. And finally, here we are at 1/6 of a second. Looks really nice. This one was taken zoomed in on the tripod. As we look at these final images and my blurry B-roll, sorry, there's a couple more tips I want to give you about waterfall photography. First of all, it's really good to have a filter. So a polarizing filter will take the glare off of those rocks and anything else you don't want glare on, and sometimes even show down into the water a little bit to the pretty pebbles. And maybe even a graduated neutral density if you happen to be at a waterfall where there's sky above. That's going to really wreck your long exposure because the sky will instantly blow out at 1/6 of a second, even at f/22. So those are a couple of other tips. Hopefully next time we find a waterfall, it will be on purpose. I feel like the last couple of waterfalls we've showcased here, we stumbled across and just were not prepared. Didn't go at the right time of day with the right equipment. But you get the gist of what you need to do to take good waterfall pictures. Oh, and one last thing, you don't need an entire huge waterfall. You can zoom into just the tiny falls and do exactly the same thing. As we goof around trying to get a decent thumbnail picture here, I want to give you just a little insight to the next video. Whenever I'm in a location like this, up in the Rocky Mountains, and especially near water, I'm always on the lookout for moose. You've probably heard me say this many times on these videos. Oh, there could be a moose, there could be a moose. And matter of fact, when we got to the parking lot, we asked the rangers, they said, oh yes, moose had been seen, but we didn't see one here. But I'll tell you what, the next video is all going to be about a moose encounter. You don't want to miss it. Be sure you are subscribed and tell your friends if this is something interesting to you. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye, bye, bye.